Well, this will be it for stage 2 for the night. We have seen some real contest. Damon Heta overcoming Simon Whitlock, Michael Smith managing to hold off Joe Cullen, and Danny Nopper, a brilliant comeback against Gabriel Clemens, who was sublime in the first half of the game and then couldn't deal with the Dutchman in the second half. 10-8 in the opening game, 10-7 in Smith Cullen, and 10-8 in that last game between the two Aussies. Are we going to have another close one here to round off the night on stage 2? Well, it's nice to see Gerwyn Price using his actual walk-on rather than dabbling in various different ones, which I assume he thinks are going to please the crowd and never actually do, as he's done in the Premier League in the last few weeks. Personally speaking, I like to see Gerwyn Price being Gerwyn Price. I want to see him aggressive, I want to see him loud, I want to see him brilliant. And he has been brilliant in this tournament. He has not won it. And he suffered a relatively early exit last year to an unbelievable Jeffrey de Zwaan, who averaged 105 and still only beaten by 2 legs in a first to 10 contest. But prior to that, he had been making the final, the semis, or the quarters for 6 solid years. And in a tournament with an open draw and so many games you have to win, that is some going. It would kind of surprise me if Gerwyn Price didn't win the UK Open at some point in his career. And maybe this is the weekend.
And I sneakily suspect one of the best ways he could win this tournament is if he stays away from the main stage a little bit in the first couple of days and just gets a groove on and then has an assault on the main stage in the last day.
And you know what? Look, let's see what happens, what kind of reaction he gets if he does play on the main stage. He's got to beat Martin Schindler, and that is a very difficult job nowadays. Martin Schindler is a top player. He's a world number 23. And I tell you what, with Gabriel Clemens going out, there's a chance Martin Schindler could become the German number 1 this weekend. He's got to make up about 20 grand on Gabriel Clemens, but that can be done.
Well, it's doable over the next few weeks because there are some big tournaments coming up.
135.
But yeah, as I've already said this weekend, Minehead is where you find the real darts fanatics, the people who appreciate this sport. And while I know that Gerwyn Price does divide opinion, I think it's amongst the more casual players that we're seen as the bad guy. I think the real darts fanatics appreciate that this is one of the greatest players we've ever seen.
Gerwyn, you acquire 36.
I concur. As he goes for double 18. Take the first leg, and that looked very tidy indeed. Made the short hop from Exeter overnight. Not exactly the longest journey from where he hails from in South Wales.
60.
As the crow flies, it's a very short hop indeed. If he had a helicopter, he could probably be here in 10 minutes.
I'm surprised he doesn't.
100.
A proper Bond villain house nowadays with everything he could possibly want. He owns half of his hometown.
Well, why didn't you say to him, well, Gezi, you haven't got a helipad. He'll probably have one by the middle of May.
60.
Make it himself.
Well, let's not start some sort of arms race between darts players about what gear and clobber they've got. We've already seen some of the clothing wars going on.
Don't even go there, Dan, because as he plants that maximum and celebrates it, and people in there love it in Red's Bar, we're talking about a bunch of players who once had a rivalry with how many chickens have you got. That went on with Wright and Van Gerwen. And it got to the stage
Van
where...
Gerwen have chickens?
Oh, yeah. It got to the stage where they had to stop doing it because if they went over a certain amount, they'd have to classify their home as a farm.
Yes, I know. I realised Peter Wright did get to that stage. This is a really encouraging start from Gerwyn Price.
93.
81 left after 9 81. On the Schindler throw. Treble 14, is that the plan? Treble 10. Double 16. Yeah, 12 darter, breaks the throw. This is a lightning start from the Iceman.
He doesn't look in a very charitable mood, and he has got form of drilling Schindler into the ground. Remember that World Cup game where he set a personal best
60
average-wise at the World Cup game in 2022, 117.88.
Yeah.
Almost surprised he hasn't bettered that.
You know what? Look, 118 average is
97.
absolutely insane, obviously. But it was only first to 4. Martin Schindler's got a higher personal best. Did that at Q School, averaged 123.
100.
Having said that, he's not averaged 100-teens as much as Gerwyn Price has over the course of his career.
Not at all.
But he has done it.
He doesn't have Price's title haul either.
No, he doesn't. Gerwyn Price, 35 PDC titles. Said that Whitlock is a
83.
serial winner, and you think about all the titles that he won over the years, 19. Gerwyn Price has nearly twice that number and 7 major titles.
I remember not that long ago, we had a conversation, Mark Webster and I, we were
140.
talking about how many titles certain players had. And we talked about Lloydie. And we said, he's got 13 PDC titles. And we said, that's incredible. Price has got nearly 3 times as many.
Yeah, I realise there are more tournaments nowadays. It is a bit comparing apples and oranges, but it is still a serious haul. Picked up 4 Players' Championship titles and the World Cup last year alone, and that wasn't a particularly good year.
84. Martin, he requires 68.
Needs something to happen. Get a shot at a double, take it, and start getting into the match. Well, he just finds the single.
48.
But you can't leave Price on tops in this mood, especially with 3 darts in hand.
3-0. He's getting louder, and the lead is increasing. There's always a significant Welsh contingent who make it here to Minehead from Wales to cheer on their players.
And they can be heard in here. They've already sang his name.
100.
This is not a good spot for the wall. I maintain my statement from earlier in the week. I said if Price gets time on board 2, he could really build a confidence going into the latter stages of this tournament.
Well, Schindler had a good run to the Grand Prix quarter-finals the back end of last year. And
134.
it looked like, oh, maybe this is Shindy's time to really break through. And look, he quarter-finalist of this last year as well. Great year for Martin Schindler by his standards, making progress, reaching major quarter-finals. But going into that, I thought, oh, maybe this is the time for him to go and beat Gerwyn Price. He got thrashed.
60.
He got done to nil, 3-0 at the hands of Price, who averaged in the 90s in a double start format. He's got lucky there with that dart.
I think he threw that a little early.
75.
Schindler stuttered in taking his dart at the board, and I think he was almost trying to not let it go.
Well, he's so quick to the Oki, Price, and it can cause him problems.
137.
Just got to be wary of that sometimes when you're taking a dart out the board, and if you've got some grip element on those points, sometimes it snags on the wire
78. Martin, you require
the dart
70.
and the board wins. You might have to just give it a bit of a tweak before you pull it out.
8-8. Schindler's on the board. Very nicely done there by the German. Nowadays based in Frankfurt in Germany, originally from Strasbourg, which is the old
96.
east near Berlin.
Yeah, good to be near a massive airport like Frankfurt. You can go anywhere in the world from there. Don't have to do lots of connecting flights.
180.
That's more like it. Schindler's going to need stuff like that.
Yeah, he can score big, Martin Schindler.
140.
His run, solitary run to a ranking final in PDC darts, came in a Players' Championship event where he hit more than 30 180s. Although the record was recently
140.
obliterated by Gary Anderson, who hit more than 40 in winning his Players' Championship event.
171.
Where is that record going to end? Because it seems like it's broken every 6 months at the minute. Dirk, Chisnell, Anderson. What's next? 50?
96.
Wow.
Gerwyn, you require 94.
We'll see, but a brilliant setup shot from Gerwyn Price. He doesn't go particularly aggressive, but he does get a dart at the outer ring. 6-6 for a 4-1 lead, and Schindler is poised to strike. And he does
88.
get a chance.
Martin, you require 85.
He thought he was going to hit that with ease. Now he has to watch on to see if his throw's broken on double 14.
Games from the fifth leg. Martin Schindler.
The ease of how he did that, that's got to be encouraging for the diminutive German, who's only beaten Price 4 times in his career in 16 matches.
3-0 down, and in a spot of bother, Martin Schindler has responded with a 14 darter and an 11 darter. And we're back on throw in this game.
121.
I'm trying to think back, the biggest moment that a Welsh player's had on this stage is probably back in 2020, when Johnny Clayton hit a 9 darter on this stage.
Yes, he did. Was that UK Open Play Championship finals?
It was the UK Open just before the pandemic. Michael van Gerwen, the darts on right year,
100.
where he still averaged over 100 and won the tournament.
Yeah, well, MBG is one of the players who's beaten Price in the final of this event. Peter Wright, the other.
140.
That was Peter Wright's first major title. That was well before Price was the animal that he is now.
Yeah, 2017, that's when Price was really evolving into one of the world's very best. But 2020, when he lost the final to MVG,
100.
only lost it 11-9. Brilliant contest as well. That's when Price really was knocking on the door, threatening to be top dog.
Martin, you require 143.
Martin's knocking on the door if this goes. But there will be some sort of volume from Price. If he hits this 58, he's trying to fend off Martin's attack. But there's no noise. Greeted with silence. And Schindler could make this place even more silent.
Well, the last 2 legs, Price has missed darts double. Schindler made him pay in the last leg, and he does again. The finishing from Martin Schindler here. He missed his first dart at double in leg 3. He's not missed one since.
81.
Do you remember that shot that Price took out against Ian White in 2017?
The 160 in the last leg decider, having survived match darts.
Oh my. That shook Ian White for months, didn't
58.
it?
Really did. Ian White, that was in the quarterfinals, I believe.
It was one of the premier dart sessions in history.
59.
That was the session where we had almost every leg possible. 10-9, 10-9, 10-9, 10-8 for Barneveld Wright. And they were stratospheric games.
Yeah, 10-8 Barneveld, where there was a power cut in the middle of the Barneveld Wright game, and Wright came from behind after the power cut to win it. Maximum from Schindler. Would he be getting the upper hand in this game?
I didn't foresee this.
140.
My prediction for this game was for Price to go into some sort of crazy mode and win possibly 10-4, 10-5.
93.
He's still averaging a ton here, Gerwyn Price. Schindler is not far behind.
I think Price is just taking an extra second now, waiting for Martin to clear.
60.
His rhythm might just be a tiny bit upset, and that's the right thing to do. If you're not comfortable with it, just take that one extra step off from the oche and then go with it.
105. Gerwyn, you require 161.
Back to the 60. He is one of the premier players on double 12. However, he's left himself on double 17 instead.
65.
Yeah, but the 25 would have still left single to double. Now Schindler's hit the 17. That'll leave double top. And Martin Schindler misses at double, something he hasn't done for the last 3 legs.
It's going to be 10 for 12s. That's why. If I was to put one player into bat on double 12 in World Darts at the minute to save the planet, it would have to be Price.
They're singing his name. They love him. He's the most popular player in the world. or at least in this room.
And they're singing it over a 180 for Shindy.
86.
This is why I thought this would work for him, because he really can hear his fans.
Yeah, but the thing is, I hadn't factored in Martin Schindler playing really, really well.
57.
And he's more likely to do that nowadays. He has got better. He's got to the point where he is good enough to win things. He is yet to win a PDC title, but he has been regularly in the back end of Pro Tour events. He's been better at getting to the final stages of European Tour events than, say, Gabro Clemens, for example, a man who he could leapfrog in the rankings and become Germany's #1 for the first time in his career this weekend.
But I think his focus and his resilience is being tested in this game. So many times on the Euro Tour, he's got the crowd with him.
92.
Now it's against him of sorts, and his focus has been supreme. But it's another 160, but not this time. Not 7 years later.
32.
Double 16 for a level game once more. Not moving, must like the lie. Now he's moving.
16.
Price likes this shot. It got him his first major at the Grand Slam. Oh, it's double 15. That's very fortunate. Talk about fortune and making the best of a situation. That could have easily gone in the single 5. Double 5 won him the world title. Double 15 there gets him a 5-3 lead.
9th leg, Gerwyn to vote first. Game on.
Well, the handoff there to Martin Schindler. He missed 3 darts to level. In fact, he's missed 4 darts over the last 2 legs and lost them both. It could be 5-3 Shindy.
98.
It isn't. Another good contest on this board. We've been blessed with some cracking games tonight.
Just seems like an eternity since Gabriel Clemens was taken out by Danny Noppert's comeback.
96.
Let's not forget about that. The
Yeah,
reigning champion is through. I mean, that's a big story in itself. The fact that Gilding was given the main stage, even though he's not one of the biggest hitters in world darts, I think that was incredibly respectful.
Your mouth out, Nicholson.
Oh, come on.
UK Open champion Andrew Gilding.
If I may say one more thing about that. Danny Noppert was given an outside board as defending champion when he played his first game. Gilding wasn't. He was given the main stage. I think that was very respectful.
Did you hear the cheer for Gilding's name during the draw?
Nope.
It was massive. Still echoing around the big top here at Minehead right now, several hours later.
Did you lead the choir?
No, it was respectful silence. 65 left for Price to open up a 3-leg advantage. He went 3-0 up in this game, and Schindler hit back very, very hard. Double top.
Casts a shadow over 2 doubles.
You require 101.
Schindler could be very close if he can clip 101. Double top seems to be his want, and that's what he gets. Break of throw, and if he holds, we go level at the break. Funny game, this.
Really impressive Martin Schindler in this game. He's been facing adversity from start to this point. He has not led at any point. Yes, he's missed darts in a couple of legs, but then he's responded, ton plus finish. Gerwyn Price is averaging a ton and has been all the way through this match.
Gary Anderson beat Cameron Menzies earlier tonight by 10 legs to 5.
46.
A somewhat decent display from Gary, 96 plus average, but he's in the hat. That's the main thing for Saturday.
Well, he must have gone berserk because he was averaging 88, 89 when it was 5-all. So he's evidently suddenly remembered that he's been playing better darts than anybody else in the second half of that game. Rattled off 5 legs on the spin.
There's something about the older guard having a good day today. Like Sir Van der Voort, King. Anderson's not so much old guard, he's one of the best players in the world right now. Isn't it great to see some people like that just having a good day? It's not just about the kids now.
85. Gerwyn, you acquire 87.
Mervyn King, Gary Anderson in the final. We went treble 10 because he was afforded that luxury. He's gone in the
31.
6.
All's well that ends well. And 56 still gives him a route to his favourite target of tops for 6-4 at the break.
Well, more misses, and can Schindler conjure up another ton plus out, but this one of a different order to that 101 he took out in the previous leg.
Well, this is finish of the day from Scott Mitchell on an outer board. Had that have gone, we might have got some volume from Martin.
140. Gerwyn, you acquire 40.
Tops for 6-4. Gerwyn Price spreads his arms. He has a 2-leg advantage, but Martin Schindler has not wilted in this game. Price is averaging more than 98. He has been the better player for big chunks of it, but he's only a 2-leg lead, and as we've seen already tonight, that is not decisive. The final mini session of stage 2 on the opening day of the UK Open. Gerwyn Price needs 4 more legs to put himself in the hat for the 5th round draw. Martin Schindler needs 6 legs. Race to 10, 6-4 Price at the moment. He is averaging 98.5. He has missed a fair few darts at double, but Martin Schindler had back-to-back legs when it was 3-all, where he missed darts in both of those legs. He could have been 5-3 up, he ended up 5-3 down, and now he has work to do. But we have already seen tonight that players who have gone behind have managed to turn things around. But can they turn it around against a pretty solid-looking Gerwyn Price in an atmosphere where he's actually getting some love from the fans, and deservedly so as well. And look, they're not giving Martin Schindler any stick either. Cheer for who you want, don't necessarily make life difficult for the other guy.
Hasn't been a good night for the Germans. 5 have exited. So is Schindler going to buck that trend, or is he going to join the gang on the way back to Germany in the morning?
100.
Yes, a whole new influx of German players from Q School as well, the likes of Paul Kroner, Tim Bolters.
140.
They've been unable to secure their spots in the next round.
Other players who have exited: Daniel Closer, Clemens on this board. Flo Hempel lost to Jan van Veen out on board 7 by 10 legs to 7.
95.
Pietreczko had to bow down to the king.
He played well in that game. Ricardo, 98 and a bit average, pretty much what Price is doing. But Martin Schindler, once again, he's digging in here.
Oh, look at that first start. Pretty as a picture. Bullseye.
125. Martin, you acquire
Not even close.
81.
How about this one? Does he need the bull? He does.
56.
He gets closer,
Gerwyn, you acquire 45.
but I don't see a cigar in here.
Double top, 7-4. Drops the dart. Never really a problem for him, to be honest.
35.
But he cannot find double 10.
Martin,
3
you
darts
acquire
missed for a
25.
7-4 lead.
A lot more people doing this these days. And the reason for that is very, very simple, because he's spending more time on tops and 10s. He's trying to minimize the amount of targets that he goes for all the time. Very Rob Cross. Very Rob Cross.
Yeah, he seems to be more interested in playing on tops, Martin Schindler, when I'd always considered him more of a double 16 kind of guy.
Yeah, what I mean by minimizing targets, it was actually you, Dan, that brought up the fact that Cross doesn't like to use the 17s unless it's absolutely necessary. And people, with the exception of someone like Connor Scott, for instance, who started the games off this afternoon, they just want to minimize the amount of targets that they go for all the time. With Martin, it's obviously going to be tops as his primary shot, His secondary shot is 10s, and the likelihood is the other plan is going to be 12s.
Well, not dissimilar to Gerwyn Price. I mean, Gerwyn Price is not as rigid as he used to be back in the days before he became world champion. It was almost silly the contortions he was going through to leave himself on top, just avoiding double 16 altogether. You've got to be willing to use them if you need to, if it makes sense. But this is for a level game. Does he go double-double? No, he doesn't. And I think that's probably the sensible play with Price on 170, but then he did nearly take it out in the last leg.
He's not going to take it out this time, but Schindler missed a trick there, Dan. With 94 and that 18 segment hit, he could have gone treble 18, double 11. It was a beautiful guide for the 54, but it's still a win for 6-6. It's a route that people just don't use in that moment. And I have seen it once from Michael Smith, shock horror, because he's one of the best tacticians in world darts. But that, for me, is probably going to be used more in the next few years.
And certainly an interesting one. I think maybe with Price being on a one, look, if Price was on 130, say, maybe that would have been the shot. But he probably feels it's a sensible play. Don't leave an awkward double. And maybe coming back, I don't want to find myself in an awkward double where I can't afford to miss inside. Yeah,
I think if you're left on 11, you're minimising your chances. But maybe in a slightly tighter spot, if you feel like you've only got that one visit, that is a really good option.
43.
Martin Schindler. This is a chance. This is a real chance.
Can you possibly imagine the draw being done tonight without Price in the hat and Van Gerwen?
Might not have to imagine it. Might be happening. There's still a way to go in this game. There's still a way to go in this leg because Gerwyn Price is right back in it. Third maximum for the Iceman. But this, for Schindler, for a break, that's a problem. That's a solution. And that takes the 13th leg. Martin Schindler has won all three since the break and leads this game for the first time.
Somebody get the paddles out. What a resuscitation there from Martin. Great recovery and superb focus. We do have another name in the hat, by the way. It's Nathan Aspinall. He's taking care of the man from the farmyard, Scott Mitchell. Very good display, averaging 97 there, the Asp. And it's been a pretty good 24 hours for him.
It certainly has. He doesn't really relish his trips down to this part of the world. Since winning the UK Open, he's barely won any games in Butlins Minehead, but he's just won the Premier League night in Exeter last night. Hot-footed it here to play well and see off Scott Mitchell to put himself into the draw for the next round. And it might be a draw without MVG and Gerwyn Price. Martin Schindler, he has not looked flustered at any point. He was 3 legs down after the first 3 legs. He was 5-3 and 6-4 down.
100.
And Price has been averaging around about 100 all the way through this game. And Schindler has just found these little spells where he's been able to win
99.
multiple legs.
Don't underestimate just how much work Martin puts into his entire career. It's not just about time on the board. He's one of the most astute players in world darts at looking at every single avenue in how to get better. Mental, physical, technical. He works with his close ally, Jonas Selashoglu, on all avenues. And tonight he's showing uber focus. But is it enough in this leg? As Price goes for the equaliser.
78.
He might be 8-6 down.
Only darted double he's had in the last 3 legs. And he's missed it. Schindler for 8-6. It is tops. So far off. And that is so close.
I think that shot of tops wounded him. 10s, wounds Schindler. After he misses it, Price takes it. And now it's back on throw. This situation could have been so much worse for Gezi Price.
2 darts missed for 8-6 for Martin Schindler.
137.
Nobody's dominated on this stage tonight. It's been brilliant.
Really good contest, and this is as good as any of them. Yeah, we've seen periods where one player's won a number of legs back to back to back, and then the other's done it. But at no point has anybody gone so far off the boil. There's been little margins in it.
It's been like tug of war on that stage tonight. A very fair one at that. It's not like you've got Hafthor Bjornsson on one side and Mr. Bean on the other.
Yeah, the only time in this game where it looked like a mismatch was the first 2 or 3 legs where Price was way, way clear of Schindler. But since then, he's been right in this game. Oh, here he goes again. Here he goes again. 180 number 5 for Shindy.
Watch out, 57 in bull. How does he hit this? Annie Oakley, everybody? Oh, my word. That would have been brilliant, but now Schindler's in position to take the lead again with another break of throw.
Okay, double 14. Mixing things up. To great effect, Martin Schindler. Well, I have to say, he's doing some surprising things on the board in how he's managing it. But it's working out for him. 8-7 Schindler. They're both averaging in excess of 99. It is quality.
60.
Both internalising how they feel as well. They may look calm, but I promise you they're not. This is a scrap all of a sudden. And I have to say that Schindler is playing above his weight class. This really has been a stunning focused display from him.
60.
Well, last year, he beat Whitlock, Adrian Lewis and Johnny Clayton, Martin Schindler, before only going out to the eventual champion, Andrew Gilder.
140.
Price walks away from the board there thinking, how have I just got 140? Schindler will get more.
140.
Possibly. He'll be happy with that 140.
He will, but Price has stolen the darts here. It's a real seesaw.
81.
I think somebody's getting on top, and then they get broken back. 2 treble visit here, or better, and Martin Schindler's got a real chance. Oh, he has got the 2 trebles, and it's 101. He's taken that already in this game.
Watch out. That really is a miss from Price. You can see what he felt about it, because that dart was begging for a bedfellow. If this goes, it's really bad news for Price.
Treble 14 has to be the shot.
53.
He could not get it.
Another break? Another break. Best of 3 from here. And the Iceman knows a thing or two about best of 3. His career was pretty much kick-started by winning the Champion of Champions, which was best of 3 from the start to the finish.
Yeah, another one of those players who won the Champion of Champions and then went on to great things.
83.
He hasn't held his throw since the mid-game break. There's only been 1 holder throw. It's been constant breaks of throw. Shindy, in the 12th leg, the only time he managed to do it.
I hope nobody needs the toilet.
140.
I don't want this to stop.
I can tell you, Luke Littler is in the hat. He's beaten James Wade over on the main stage.
57.
Apparently revenge is a dish best served nuclear. After losing to Wade recently in a first round match. Someone's going to get Littler tomorrow.
He's got to fill it up to leave a finish. Oh, he's going to do it, isn't he? Well, he goes to the 18s. 174 to leave 170. Stupendous stuff.
What's going to happen next?
100.
That was a weak last start from Price.
170.
That was a good centimetre short. And that one's just a bit high. So 78 for a precious hold.
43. Gerwyn requires 78.
Talked about how good he is at double 12. And he finds it first dart. Brilliant stuff from Gerwyn Price. Holds his throw for the first time in this second mini session. He is a leg away. Martin Schindler has not wilted at any point. Can he hold his throw here and force a last leg decider? The game probably deserves one.
Oh my word. How good is that 180? For two reasons, the timing and the proximity of all points together. Honestly, Schindler at the minute is wilting about as much as granite in a frying pan.
Oh, he's in again. 4 perfect darts to start the leg. You cannot criticise anything he's done in this game. They've been odd little moments, odd little chances, and he hasn't taken them. He missed a couple of darts for 8-6. He missed a couple of darts in consecutive legs in the first session of the match, but he has kept on making life so difficult for Price. And he might yet win this game.
57.
What about if Price finds a maximum from here? Could be a match-winning chance. It is. If Schindler misses 164, he might be forced to go for this. Oh, that is begging for another. Bullseye. My word! What a finish to set up a last leg shootout against the Iceman. This game deserves an encore and it's not even finished.
Proper darts. Schindler, 164 finish, 12 darter, forces a last leg decider, and Price kicks off with a max. It is a spectacular end to the night, and it still hangs in the balance.
What's Martin got left? Everything's been tested in this game.
100.
He's in again, you know. Oh, only 4 perfect darts. Shades of Johnny Clayton from 4 years ago. But the main thing is he's got a 180-point lead.
He's up dry, and Schindler knows he's now relying on mistakes from Price, and he is not in the mood. Look at him go.
123.
Look on the bright side, look at the lead you've got, Gezi. Call him the Iceman. Honestly, he has not melted. After that 164 was hit, he could have wilted himself.
57.
But he's come back swinging.
97 remain. Now he needs tops to seal it with a brilliant 12 darter.
58.
Not a 12, but he'll take 5 visits to get himself into Saturday at the UK Open after the game of the day.
140.
Schindler is down to a finish, but Price is on the double to win the match. Double 10. Double 5. And Gerwyn Price has missed 4 for the match.
164 was good. 144 would be better.
He's kept his emotions in check all the way through. If this goes, the little man's going to explode.
Nobody's lit the fuse, but 5
94.
to get the match won. This is not easy.
Double 2. Double 1. Is that first dart a problem?
No score.
It wasn't, but Gerwyn Price has now missed 7 for the match.
50.
6 for the match even. It does not matter. He's missed loads for the match, and Schindler gets darts to win it. Can he take the chance? Double top for the German. And he beats Gerwyn Price. There will be no Iceman and no Michael van Gerwen in Saturday's action, because Martin Schindler, who fought and battled all the way through that game, kept at it to give himself a chance. Yes, he survived multiple match darts, but when the opportunity came, he took it. And can he take the opportunity to at least match his run to the quarterfinals of the UK Open last year? He is the sole German left standing. He's in the hat for the 5th round draw. That's coming up at the end of tonight's action over on the main stage. We're done and dusted here on stage 2, and we'll see you tomorrow from the home of World Darts.